Welcome to my channel, Crochet for Baby. Thanks for watching. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to crochet this diaper cover for a baby from 0 to 3 months. I made it to match the little dress that I showed you last week. Many of you requested that I show you how to crochet the matching diaper cover, and stay tuned for the tutorial for the matching baby booties as well. Now, if you want to see the tutorial for the little dress, just click the little lamp down here next to my channel name and it'll take you to my main channel page. You will find the tutorial there. Now, like I said, the diaper cover along with the little dress is for baby girl between 0 and 3 months, but you can easily make it smaller or bigger. Down here in the information box, I'm going to leave some information on how you can make it smaller or bigger. I'd say from a newborn baby up to 12 months, so be sure to check that out. Also, if you prefer a written pattern, check out my Etsy shop. I'll leave the link to my Etsy shop in the information box as well. Now, at the end of the tutorial, I leave you the finished measurements. And remember, all of my tutorials are always in English and in Spanish. Okay, so let's get started. But first, don't forget to subscribe, share my tutorials, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. Okay, to begin, I'll be using this 3mm crochet hook, and today I'm using this number 3 yarn. This is cotton yarn. You can also use any DK weight yarn or 8-ply if you're in Australia. This is the yarn that I'll be using. It's called Premier Cotton Sprout. It's a number 3 yarn in this color cream. I'll be making the waistband with this cream white color, and then I'm going to switch to a pink yarn. Now here to begin, I have 80 chains. This chain here is measuring about 40.5 centimeters, which is about 16 inches. Now, if your chain is longer or shorter by maybe 1 or 2 centimeters less or more, it's okay. Just continue with the next step. So here to begin, like I said, I have 80 chains. We're going to join to the first chain. So we're going to do this so that our chains are not twisted. Now insert your hook into the first chain, join with a slip stitch. Now chain 1. Now what we're going to do is we're going to yarn over, insert your hook into this last chain and into the first chain, which is the same where we did the slip stitch. You're going to grab a loop and make a half double crochet. Now half double crochet into the next chain, half double crochet into the next, and so on. For this first row, this is all I'm going to do. I'm just going to make 1 half double crochet on each one of the chains. Continue to the end of this first row. I'm here at the end of this first row. I have 80 half double crochets. To finish, we're going to go on top of the first half double crochet and join with a slip stitch. Now for the second row, chain 1. In this row, we're going to make front post and back post half double crochet. So beginning into the first stitch where we join with a slip stitch, make a front post half double crochet, into the next back post half double crochet, front post half double crochets, and so on. Continue, alternate between a front post and a back post half double crochet to the end of this second row. I'll meet you at the end. I'm here at the end of this second row. This is where we did front post and back post half double crochets. I have 80 half double crochets. To finish, go on top of the first half double crochet and join with a slip stitch. Now for the next 2 or 3 rows, I'm not sure how many I'm going to do. You're just going to chain 1, and then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to start with a front post half double crochet, the next one back post half double crochet, next one front post half double crochet, and so on. I'm not sure how many rows I'm going to do, but continue watching. I will let you know exactly how many rows we're going to do, so I'll meet you at the end of that row. Okay, I finished making the waistband. I only did 3 rows. I tried making 4 rows, but it's too wide, and I don't want this to be too wide, so I only did 3 rows. Now, here at the end, I just joined to the beginning with a slip stitch, cut my yarn, and passed my yarn through this last loop. Now with this pink yarn, I'm going to insert my hook back again into the same stitch, the first half double crochet where we did the slip stitch, and I'm going to grab a loop here with this pink yarn, and I'm going to chain 1. Now if you're not changing color, then all you need to do is just join, then chain 1, and into this same stitch make a single crochet. Now into this same stitch, I'm going to make a single crochet, chain 1, skip 1/2 double crochet and into the next, make a single crochet, chain 1, skip 1/2 double crochet and into the next, single crochet, chain 1, skip 1/2 double crochet and into the next, single crochet, chain 1. Continue like this all around, and I'll meet you at the end of this row. Okay, I'm here at the end of this first row. I forgot to mention that we're going to start counting rows since I changed color, and we're going to start using our pattern here. So this is the first row. I have a total of 40 single crochet separated by 1 chain. Now here at the end, make sure to chain 1. This is going to be our last chain 1 space. So to finish this row, go on top of the first single crochet and join with a slip stitch. And this is how I finish this first row with a total of 40 single crochets separated by 1 chain. Now for the second row, we're going to chain 1, and we're going to go back into this last chain 1 space that I did right here. So just go back like this and insert your hook there and make a single crochet. Now chain 1, and into this first chain 1 space here, make 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. In this row, we're going to make these shell stitches, which consist of 4 double crochets. Now chain 1, into the next chain 1 space, make a single crochet, chain 1, and into the next chain 1 space, make another shell. So make 4 double crochets. Chain 1. Now into the next chain 1 space, make a single crochet, chain 1, and into the next chain 1 space, another shell. This is all I'm going to do for this second row. We're just going to make these shells, then chain 1, into the next chain 1 space, make a single crochet, chain 1, and into the next 4 double crochets. Continue like this to the end of this second row. I'm here at the end of this second row. In this row, we did these shell stitches. I have a total of 20. Now to finish, chain 1 here at the end and join to the first single crochet with a slip stitch. And here's the second row with 20 shell stitches. Now for the third row, we're going to turn. Do not chain or anything, just turn. Now here we have our first shell. We have 4 double crochets. Into the first double crochet of this first shell, insert your hook like this into the first double crochet, grab a loop, and make a front post slip stitch. Now chain 3. These 3 chains counts as 1 double crochet from here on. Now into the next double crochet, make a front post double crochet, chain 1, and into the next 2, same thing. 1 front post double crochet on each one. Now I have the second shell. We have 4 double crochets. Into the first 2 double crochets, make a front post double crochet on each one, chain 1, and then finish with a front post double crochet on each one of these 2 double crochets. Again, I have the third shell. Into the first 2 double crochets, make a front post double crochet on each, chain 1, and into the last 2 double crochets, make a front post double crochet on each. And this is all we're going to do for the rest of this third row, and that's what it looks like from the front. Continue, and I'll meet you at the end of this third row. I'm here at the end of this third row. Now to finish, here at the end, do not chain 1. Just go here to the side where we have the 3 chains and join with a slip stitch. And this is how I finish this third row. If I count each one of these front post double crochets, I have a total of 80 front post double crochets. From here on, we're going to repeat this third row and the fourth row, which I am about to show you. So for the fourth row, chain 1 and turn. Now into this first space right here between the shells, see down here we have the shells, and here, so right in the middle here, make a single crochet. Now chain 1, and into this first chain 1 space here, make a shell. So 4 double crochets. Chain 1. Now in the middle of these 2 shells right here, make a single crochet, chain 1, and inside the chain 1 space again make another shell. Chain 1. In the middle of these 2 shells right here, make a single crochet, chain 1, and into this next chain 1 space make another shell. This is all we're going to do for this 4th row, so continue and I will meet you at the end of this row. I'm here at the end of this 4th row. In this row we did these shell stitches. Now to finish, chain 1 here at the end and go on top of the first single crochet and join with a slip stitch. And this is how I finished this row. Now from here on, these are the 2 rows that we're going to repeat. We're going to repeat the 3rd and the 4th row. So for the 5th row, I need to repeat the 3rd row, which is where we do the front post double crochets. So to start this row, all you're going to do is you're going to turn like this, and then you're going to go into the first double crochet of the first shell, so right here, and insert your hook like this through the first double crochet and then work a front post slip stitch. Now chain 3 and into the second double crochet make a front post double crochet, chain 1, and into these last 2 double crochets, same thing, front post double crochets. Now we have the second shell, we have 4 double crochets. Into the first 2 double crochets, make a front post double crochet on each one, chain 1, and then finish with these last 2 double crochets by making a front post double crochet on each. And that's all you're going to do for the rest of this row. Continue and I'll meet you at the end of this 5th row to show you once again how to start your row of shell stitches. I'm here at the end of this 5th row. In this row we did the row of front post double crochets. Now to finish, just go here to the side and join with a slip stitch. And this is how I finish this 5th row. Now like I said, from here on we're just going to repeat this row of front post double crochets and the row where we do the shell stitches. So for row 6 we're going to repeat the same thing we did for the 4th row, which is you're just going to chain 1 and turn into this first space right after the 3 chains. See right here, these are the 3 chains of the previous row. So right in the middle there, insert your hook there and make a single crochet, chain 1, and into this first chain 1 space here, make your first shell. So 4 double crochets. Chain 1, in the middle of these 2 shells, make a single crochet, chain 1, into the next chain 1 space here, make another shell. Chain 1, and in the middle of these 2 shells make a single crochet, chain 1, and into the next chain 1 space another shell. And this is all we're going to do for the rest of this row. Now, like I said, from here on we're going to repeat these 2 rows. I'm not exactly sure how many rows I'm going to do for the rest of this diaper cover, but continue watching. I will let you know exactly how many rows I'm going to do, and all you're doing is just repeating these 2 rows. So continue and I'll meet you at the end of this row. Okay, I finished making this part. I have a total of 16 rows, including this row we did with single crochets and chain 1 spaces. So in total, I have 16 rows, and this part here is measuring from the waist to the end of this last row. It's measuring about 16 centimeters, which is about 6.25 inches. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to divide the legs. So to do this, remember, we have a total of 20 shells all around. So here I have placed a stitch marker into this last shell that I did for this last row. So right here, make sure you put a stitch marker there, and then we're going to skip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 into the 10th shell here, put another stitch marker, and then we're going to skip 9 again for the other leg, and then I have my stitch marker here. So each one of the legs, I'm going to have 9, and then I have my stitch markers here. So here, to begin, first we're going to separate the legs. So to do this, here I finished by making a slip stitch. I'm going to turn here, and I have this first shell. So I'm going to go into the first double crochet and work a slip stitch. Now chain 3, and into these next 3 double crochets, make a front post double crochet. Now to separate the legs, chain 1, skip 9 shells, and into the 10th shell right here, into the first double crochet, work a front post double crochet, and into each one. So we're going to have 4 front post double crochets here. Perfect. Now chain 1, skip 9 shells, and we're going to go here to the first double crochet, which is the 3 chains. So just insert your hook like this and make a slip stitch. Don't forget to chain 1 right here. And this is how we divide the legs. Now this is the back side. I have 9 fans for each one of the legs. So in order for me to continue with the pattern, I have to start here into this fan, which is on the front side. This is the back, so this is the front. So into this fan here, that's where I need to continue with the pattern. So to do this, I'm going to turn this like this, and into this chain space right here, insert your hook and make a slip stitch again. Right there into that chain 1 space. Now, like I said, we're going to work this row from the inside out. So chain 3 here, 1, 2, 3, and into this space here, make a double crochet, chain 1, and then again 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. Now I have to make my first front post double crochet into this shell here. If you hear me say fans, it's the same thing. It's fans or shells. I get confused sometimes. So shells, we have the first shell for the front side here after we divide it. So what I'm going to do here is, if I make my front post double crochet here into this shell, there's a big gap, and I don't like that. So in order to fix this, this is what I'm going to do. It's optional. If you really don't care, then just go ahead and make your first front post there. But what I'm going to do is, into this chain space right here, I'm going to yarn over, insert the hook like this, grab a loop, take 2 loops off, leave 2 loops on the hook, don't close, and then now go into this next shell and work a front post double crochet into that double crochet, take 2 loops off, close. See, that's what it looks like. So that way we don't have a gap there. And now you're just going to continue and work a front post double crochet into the next, chain 1, and then a front post double crochet on each of the next 2 double crochets. Now we have the next shell, so work 2 front post double crochets, chain 1, 2 front post double crochets, and then continue with the same stitch all around until you come to this last shell here, and that's what it looks like here. So now continue all around, and I will meet you here at the end to show you how to finish this first row. I forgot to mention we're going to start counting rows because we're dividing the legs. That way I can tell you how many rows I'm going to do here for each one of the legs. So continue, and I'll meet you at the end of this first row. Okay, I'm here at the end of this first row. I have my last front post double crochet, and I have the first fan, and I have the first shell that I did right here in the middle where we did the chain when we separated the legs. So here to finish, I'm going to do the same thing I did here. I'm going to do a double crochet decrease so that we can close that gap. So yarn over, insert your hook here. This is a slip stitch that's right there. Insert your hook there. Take 2 loops off, 2 loops on the hook, then go here into this first shell. We have the 3 chains right there. Insert your hook and make a slip stitch. And this is how I finished this first row with a total of 10 fans all around, or 10 shells. And if you count each one of the front post double crochets, there should be 40 front post double crochets, including the chains here at the beginning. And I'm not counting the decrease here on both sides. Now for the second row, we're going to chain 1 and turn. Here I'm going to make one more row with the pattern, so I need to make the row of fans. So right here in the middle, I'm going to make a single crochet right there, and then I have the 2 double crochets, chain 1, 2 double crochets, chain 1 here, and inside this chain 1 space make your shell of 4 double crochets. For this second row, this is all we're going to do. Same thing we did for this part here. Chain 1 and then single crochet between the 2, chain 1, and then another shell inside the chain 1 space. Continue like this all around. At the end of this second row, you should have 10 shells. I'll meet you at the end of this row. I'm here at the end of the second row. Here at the end, chain 1. To finish, go here where we have the single crochet and join with a slip stitch. And this is how I finished the second row with a total of 10 shells. Now for the third row, we're going to turn, and here we have the first shell, so work a front post, slip stitch into the first double crochet, then chain 3, and work 1 front post double crochet on each one of the remaining 3. Here I'm not going to make a chain space like we have been doing. I'm going to do this and continue in the same way. We have the next shell, just work 4 front post double crochets. If you want to make the chain space, you can. That will add a bit more to the length so that it's a bit wider. That would be up to you. I'm not going to, so all I'm doing is work front post double crochets on each one of the double crochets of the shells. Continue like this for this third row, and I'll meet you at the end. And I will meet you at the end. Okay, I finished making this third row. This is where we did front post double crochets. Here at the end, I just joined to the beginning with a slip stitch, cut my yarn and passed my yarn through this last loop, and this row here is done. If we count each one of the double crochets, you should have a total of 40 front post double crochets, including the chains here at the beginning. Now for the next 2 rows, we're going to use this white yarn, or at least I am. So I'm going to start this row right here. This is where we finished from the inside. So I'm on the right side. This is the back side. So insert your hook between these 2 fans. See right there? Grab a loop here. Bring it through the front. Chain 1. Now we have the first double crochet, so make a front post half double crochet, and then a back post half double crochet, front post half double crochet, back post half double crochet. Make sure these front post and back post half double crochets are nice and loose. You can even use a slightly bigger hook, it's optional. I'm going to continue with the 3mm, and all I'm doing is front post and back post half double crochets all around for this row. Now, like I said at the beginning, I'm going to do 2 rows, so when I finish this row, I'm going to join here to the side with a slip stitch right here, then chain 1, and then repeat the same thing. You're going to start with a front post half double crochet, then back, front, back, and so on. And that's how you're going to continue for that second row. Continue. Let's finish these 2 rows. Okay, I finished making these last 2 rows of front post and back post half double crochets. Here at the end, I just joined to the beginning with a slip stitch, cut my yarn, and passed my yarn through this last loop. And this side here is all done, and that's what it looks like. Here's the back and here's the front. Now we're going to do the exact same thing we did here for these last 4 rows. We're going to do it here on this other side. So to do this, this is the back side. We're going to go right here, right in the middle, where we have this chain. This is the chain that we did when we separated the legs. So insert your hook right here. I'm going to grab a loop here, bring it through the front, and chain 3. Now here what you need to do is make sure you leave a nice long tail, not too long, about, I don't know, 6 inches or so. This here, once we're done, there's going to be a gap. So all you're going to do is just make 1 or 2 stitches here so that this part here closes and it's not too open. So make sure you leave about 6 inches here to do that at the end. So now here, into this chain space of this side here, I'm going to make a double crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochets. Now I need to make a front post double crochet into this double crochet of this shell, but remember that there's a gap here if I just go straight to making it. So to avoid that, I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to go into this chain space before this fan, see right there. So into that chain space right there, grab a loop, take 2 loops off, leave 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, go straight into the first double crochet of the first shell on this side and work a front post double crochet, take 2 loops off, 3 loops on the hook, close, and that takes care of that gap there. Now work a front post double crochet into the next double crochet, chain 1, and finish with 2 front post double crochets. Now we have the next shell, 2 front post half double crochets, chain 1, 2 front post double crochets, and that's all I'm going to do for this first row to this other side. So continue and I'll meet you here at the end to show you what we need to do next. I'm here at the end of this first row to the second leg. Now here I did my last front post double crochet, and before I finish I need to make a double crochet decrease so that there is no gap here in between this first shell and the last one. So to do this, we have 2 chain 1 spaces. There's 1 and then there's 2. On the second one, we're going to yarn over, insert your hook there, grab a loop, take 2 loops off, 2 loops on the hook. Now to finish, go here to the side of the chain 3 and join with a slip stitch. And here's the first row with a total of 40 double crochets, including the 3 chains here at the beginning. Now for the second row, we're going to chain 1 and turn. Now here we're going to start by making a single crochet into the first chain 1 space right here. Insert your hook there and make a single crochet. Now chain 1, and inside the chain 1 space here, make a shell, so make 4 double crochets. Chain 1, in the middle of these 2, make a single crochet, chain 1, and then make another shell inside the chain 1 space. And then you're just going to continue for the rest of this second row. At the end of this second row, you're going to have 10 shells, and then you're going to repeat the row of front post double crochets. But remember, I didn't add a chain space in this row, and then I finished with 2 rows of front post and back post half double crochets. So continue and finish this other side, and then I'll come back and show you the finished diaper cover. Okay, I finished making the second leg. I did it exactly in the same way as I showed you here, and the little diaper cover is all done. This is the back side and here's the front side. Now here I just weaved in this ribbon through the center here of the waistband, and here on each side I added these little bows. You can just go on YouTube and find a tutorial on how to make bows, which is exactly what I did. Now let me give you the finished measurements. From the top of the waist to the end here, it's measuring about 20 centimeters, which is about 8 inches, and the waist, just the top, it's measuring about 21.5 centimeters, which is about 8.5 inches. So based on these measurements, this little diaper cover or baby shorts is for baby between 0 and 3 months old. But remember, you can easily make it smaller or bigger. Just look in the information box below. There, I'm going to leave some information on how you can make it smaller or bigger, so be sure to check that out. Okay, so the diaper cover to match the little dress is all done. If you want to see this tutorial, just click the little lamb down here next to my channel name and it'll take you to my main channel page. You will find the tutorial there, and remember, if you prefer a written pattern, check out my Etsy shop. I'll leave the link in the information box as well. Okay, so this was today's tutorial. I hope you like it. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.